I'll record it just in case anybody that didn't get a chance. So look, tonight's just a Q&A. Most people that are going are pretty well established outdoor lovers, and I've kind of done something similar to this before. Heading out on the 21st, guys, Saturday 21st and back on the 28th. Some people are staying on for a few days extra and so on. That's cool. We have all that kind of covered, and Sharon has got those details. Flight time, we can have all your flight times at this stage for those that are arriving in on Saturday night, because I'm late on Saturday night on that Ryanair flight. We'll be kind of coming in, we'll be picked up at the airport and back to Marrakesh. Some people are coming in a little bit earlier. Some are coming in on the Friday, and some are coming Thursday. Some are coming in from different areas as well. So don't worry about that. All the transportation for picking you up and dropping back to the airport is all organised. So we know your times of your arrival. We know your flights and all that jazz. So don't be panicking about that. Again, we've got the WhatsApp group. So if there's anything that's changed, just let us know as we're moving along. Um, so that's it. Look, it's a 7 day trip. It's 5 days in the mountain. It's got seven pretty substantial climbs in it. For those that are kind of fearful about like 4,000 meters each day, it's not. It's mainly 1,800, 1,500, 1,700 each day. Um, Two of them are technical, not overly technical, but they do present a scramble. So it's kind of like all four. But again, we're going to be coaching through it. Three, four guides working on the trip. How we kind of see it all panning out is going to be depending on people's ability and speed. So for those that are maybe a little bit slower or perceived to be a little bit slower, don't panic. I can see probably a faster group and a middle group and a slower group, and all of us arriving into camp each night at our own pace. So don't be kind of alarmed if there's like a super strong individual or a couple and they just want to push on. I will assign a guide and do that. So we probably will have that advanced intermediate or standard or intermediate and advanced grouping, but let's see how that works out. And if people are comfortable just moving as one unit, then that's equally okay as well. So first day we're going to arrive into Marrakesh. The following day, um, we're going to be getting stuck in. We're going to be moving to a local village. It's not going to be Imil, the same as what we do for Tobacco. We're taking on another route and kind of coming at it from the backside. So you don't need to know all that kind of detail just here now. Day one, we're getting stuck in, so there's no kind of easy day. So it's literally arriving to Marrakesh. The following day, we're getting stuck in. The bigger bags are going to be going on the mule each day. So what's to be carried on your back is going to be a regular little backpack, fleece, waterproof jacket, snacks, and some hydration. You're going to need that every single day. Temperature wise, obviously Marrakesh is going to be super hot this time of year, but in the Atlas Mountains, the temperature generally is in and around 22 to 24 degrees. So we do expect kind of nice conditions. However, at 4,000 meters, it could be cooler, certainly at nighttime when the sun drops in. On some of the camps, they are a little bit shaded, so we do expect the temperature to be a little bit lower. So there's where you need that puff jacket. Nothing more than that. You're not going to need like base layers, like undercover base layers and all that jazz. A good quality down jacket that packs up, and then swap out the peak cap for a bit of a woolly cap. I've just sent out 20 new expedition tents and a new dome. I've just sent them out to Hassan there. So we're going to be moving as a proper packed expedition. This isn't kind of like a Mickey Mouse affair. This is a proper expedition type event. So we're going to be going from camp to camp each day. Omar is probably going to be our cook, and he's going to be the meal. We're going to have one other assistant cook there as well. So they'll be going ahead in advance, setting up the tents for us, and then obviously cooking each night for us. So breakfast in the morning, lunch on the move, and dinner at night. Anybody that's been to Tubacol, the likes of Joe and the rest of the team members that have been there before knows the quality of the food is absolutely unbelievable. The
Excellent.
standard is so high when it comes to food. Why? Because nutrition is our key. Bad nutrition, bad energy levels, bad psychology, and just doesn't add for a good expedition. So nutrition is really important in my expedition. So that's dialed in. You don't need to bring snacks. So unless you want to bring some sugary snacks like 1 or 2 bars yourself per day, but you don't have to have that because we're going to be providing good quality nutritional food all the way through the expedition. So that's just a personal choice. Um, Hydration obviously is going to be a major issue because it's not just one peak. It's seven major or major-ish style mountains. Five of them are 4,000 meters. Three of them are pretty biggies, including Tubacol Summit at the end. But even that is a simpler one compared to some of the other ones we're taking on. So hydration in this environment is going to be tough. Water alone just doesn't do it, guys. Water is only a vehicle to carry salts and minerals to the muscles and the organs. You need a good quality hydrational capsule. I use the ISO one out of the boots or any of those good quality ones. I generally like lemon and lime. It's just my flavor, my taste. So I definitely would take salts and minerals. Look, anybody wants to take small salt sachets are fine, but that's only salt and there's no potassium. So it's either the yin or the yang that's causing the cramping or causing the discomfort to the muscle or slowing down the recovery. That's why that is why the capsule is so bloody important to get that capsule working each day because we're working, at a pretty good intensity. One full capsule per bottle is too intense. So I would be breaking half a tablet and breaking it into two 1 liter bottles. At all times on your body or in your pack, you're going to have 2 liters of water for on the move. I'll definitely be trying to insist that before we start breakfast in the morning or during breakfast or from when you're waking up till we finish breakfast, try to get another 1 liter of water into your body or hydration into your body along with the coffees and teas that we're going to provide you. So I'd like to think that you're starting your day with a liter in your body, 2 liters during the day, and then 1 liter when we come in to start the recovery in the afternoon and as we're moving into nighttime. We don't need Diamox, so any we don't need any medicines in relation to Diamox at all. We're going to have a slight gradual increase in our in our altitude again. So we're not going to go straight into 4,000. We're going to start in with sea level to 2.3 up to 3.9, 3.9 into 4 and 4, staying at 4, then 4 plus for the rest of the trip. So we're going to have that gradual approach. Um, so that borderline 4.2, 4.3 altitude isn't going to bring on, it has the ability to bring on cerebral edema, but it's not going to bring it on in a true sense that we would see in the likes of the Nepal or the super higher stuff in the likes of Kilimanjaro at 5.8. So I don't foresee any high altitude trauma or that major stuff. We will have and could have small headaches, which is caused by dehydration, fatigue, and a little bit of high altitude. And now how we're going to kill that off is just paracetamol. So a regular paracetamol should be in your medicine pack. What can go wrong is a breakdown of our bodies. Dehydration certainly leads to a slowdown in recovery each day because we've got to recover to get ready for the next day. You remember two of the days we've got two 4,000 meters each of those days, even though we're not dropping to zero to go back up four, we're getting up onto four. We drop 1,800, but we're going back up to 4.2 again and then back it down into camp. And then we've got two of those mixed into the 5 days. So it is going to be taxing. It's not a case that it's just all one simple climb and then we're kind of off the hook. Each day we're going to be going again. So it is going to be a bit of a kick-ass job. So that's why the recovery is important. Eating's important to fuel properly is really, really important. And then the big one is breaking down of the feet. If the feet break down, we're in trouble. Um, I would suspect personally myself, I'm probably going to go with good quality trail runners or trail shoes. The reason being is my feet don't do well with boots and warm weather. I tend to, I have little soft feet on me, so my feet will generally break down. I will be having my feet all done on Compeed in advance, so that the toe, the baby toe, the heels, I'll get all those taped off so that they're kind of safe. And look, that's just how I'm handling that everyday kind of aggression. I will have a set of boots or an alternative set of shoes with me so that I can swap out because you generally find if you have two sets of shoes, if you've got like if you've got like some sort of a hot part attacking your heel or attacking one side of your foot, when you tend to put on another type of shoe, it moves that pressure away from it. So either two sets of trail runners or a set of light kind of trail shoes and a pair of light hiking boots, ideal. Please don't rock up with brand new socks. Get them all done now in advance. Fire them into the washing machine. At least get them done 3 or 4 times through the washing machine and having broken down those fibers so that it doesn't create that friction. No need to double sock. This whole double socking is a load of nonsense. A pair of good quality socks is ideal. Not overly thick. You don't need to be something that you're going to be taking on like a 6,000 meter mountain, but just a regular everyday hiking sock or a regular everyday gym sock, like a long high heel or sorry, a high mid shin sock. It'd be ideal. Um, Clothing wise, you'll get away with shorts, no question about it, on every single day. Um, if you protect yourself from the sun, I generally go for light hiking trousers just to nullify any just kind of burning and all that type of nonsense. Um, Again, t-shirt. I definitely be going for t-shirt with one of these kind of like light fleeces in my backpack. I'll pull that on. I'll probably have a buff just to kind of protect my ears if there is any wind. I'll have my baseball hat, sunglasses, and sun cream on. Don't envisage kind of needing gloves. We are going to be doing a couple of night hikes or late or either early morning or late night. So you will need a bit of extra buffer in an early morning hike. So does that kind of mean that you go for like a 6,000 meter jacket? No, it doesn't. A kind of light, either synthetic or goose down puff would be ideal. And again, an extra layer of on top. So like you're talking like a t-shirt with one of these and a kind of like a buffer, a puff with a puff around your neck and a hat and sunglasses, or else vice versa, woolly hat at night. I would probably pop in a couple of a light pair of gloves just in case you do get caught out or we get caught out. We don't need crampons, guys. So we don't envisage any super kind of snow passes or anything like that. The winter one may present that in December, but certainly in this time of year, we'll be on summertime period. Again, even on the likes of Tobacco and those other ones in that surrounding area, we may have a little bit of snow, but nothing that's going to deem of having to wear any crampons or any of that footwear. So, any questions just at that point? Just jump in. All good. So,
Erica, you
okay.
recommended taking airbeds, Jason.
Yeah,
I was
look,
just wondering, will there be would they be carrying a communal pump, or will everybody, if everybody has an airbag, will they be carrying their own pump, or might there just be a handy communal pump with the group?
yeah, well,
We
just
talked about this on
talking
Sunday.
to Hassan there 2 days ago, we've just ordered brand new mattresses. So there's new mattresses going to be there as well. So we're putting mattresses into the tent. What
Ah,
we're doing is we're bringing the whole Nepalese experience to Marrakesh. They've never had it before. So we're bringing that
very good.
big expedition culture into Marrakesh. So they're really excited about it. And we're really excited to be able to do it. So we've flown all the gear in. It arrived yesterday. So the mattresses, I don't envisage having to take the blow up mattresses, but definitely sleeping bag, Joe.
Yeah.
I would be going for like a summer bag. You're not going to be up there in freezing conditions, but I would be going definitely. I'm taking my 3 season bag with me, which is just a regular sleeping bag. One thing I would say, and this is where people that are getting caught out, like some people get a bad sleep from not having a pillow. I'm not saying fly a pillow out, but if you can get a pillowcase with a zip on the end of it and stuff in your clothes that you would wear during the day or your padded jacket or anything like that, it turns into a pretty nice pillow and it gives you a decent sleep. What I find a lot of people come to camp breakfast in the morning and they're like, first question is, had you good sleep? It's like, oh, I wasn't really that comfortable. It's generally the pillow that lets them down or something underneath their head
That's a very
that
good point.
kind of shifts and moves all over the place. And they're not really comfortable and it really upsets your sleep. So I've just now, I started taking a pillowcase with a zip on the end of it. And I just fold it up, shove it into my bag. And while at night time, I was just shoving all my clothes into it. And then I sleep on it. So head torch, definitely take a head torch and a spare head torch with you guys. You want to need it for your tent at night. I've got everybody in their own individual tents, and anybody that snores is going to be put to the end of the valley, and the rest of us are going to stay at the top. But that's standard. uh, Other than that, that's kind of it. You don't need to bring utensils. You don't need to bring knife and fork. You don't need spoons or plates with you guys. We're going to provide that as well. So the actual expedition utensils, tenting, sleeping arrangement, bar your tent, or bar your sleeping bag, we'll have all that in place for you. Just bring your head torch. So as I said, every single day coming to breakfast, we will have our backpacks or have our bags packed. You know, they shouldn't be heavy, guys. We're not on we're not on a 2 week expedition. I can't envisage any more than 7 to 10 kilos fit in your bag, a pair of boots, a couple of pairs of change of clothes, a couple of pairs of socks, a couple of pairs of jocks, toothbrush, toothpaste. Not you're not going to need much more than that. That's really all it should be. That'll be strapped onto the mule and away it goes. The reason I'd like the expedition buys, guys, is because I've seen in the past on some of my trips, people have brought suitcases thinking that they never really thought, and the poor old mule has to carry this hard suitcase on its back, and it's abrasive. So the soft bag is lovely and comfortable, and then there's just a little kit bag on your backpack, just a 20, 25, 30 liter backpack, ideal. Walking poles, and definitely because it's a multi-stage, multi-mountain expedition. It has an attrition attached to it. I'd definitely be encouraging walking poles, both for ascending and descending. So if you're used with them, please take them. If you've never used them before, I definitely would encourage you to get out and start using them. I'm a big fan of them. I've become a bigger fan of them in the last year. Um, First aid kit, again, because I'm trying to promote self-sufficiency as outdoor enthusiasts, I'm really encouraging people to take more responsibility. Yes, we'll wrap you in a certain level of cotton wool, but we're not there. We're not there to, we really want people to take control of how they behave, how they move, and how they protect themselves. So first aid kit, definitely. We will have a general group first aid kit to keep everybody safe. I will, but at the same time, I need be looking after what could go wrong. Vaseline for the inside of your legs, sun cream, any burn, after suntan lotion, certainly on your head, toothache, paracetamol, plasters in case you cut yourself, Compeed for your feet, maybe talcum powder again for cleaning your feet. You don't need to kind of like bring. I would definitely throw in a small pack of biodegradable baby wipes. Make sure they're biodegradable, please, for giving yourself a little bit of a wash or a clean down in your nether regions just to keep yourself healthy and safe. And that's kind of really and truly what it is. Bandages wise, I mean, we're going to be, God forbid you do have a fall and you've popped a shoulder or you've put a finger out or something things simple things like that. We'll be able to strap you up and keep you going. That is the motivation. Like things like these happen. We just got to be able to see a solution and get through it. For anybody that's out there thinking, God, I don't know where my fitness is, don't panic. For anybody that's out there that has some nerves around maybe scrambling and stuff, don't panic. We're there to coach you and guide you and take you through it. For those that are more accomplished, don't be panicking as well. If I feel that I do need to separate the groups because of speed and ability, of course I'm going to do that. Nobody should feel threatened by that happening. So if you feel, oh my God, maybe I'm holding the group back, don't panic. We'll set up a group of 5 or 6 that want to move at that pace, and then a group of 10 or 11 or 5 or 6 that want to group move at that pace. Hey, presto, we're all going to arrive into the same location at different times, maybe an hour apart. And that's cool. That's okay. That's what exploration's all about. Um, so I don't know everybody. I know quite a lot of yous, but I haven't been with each and every one of yous. I've been on 4 Peak Challenges. I've been Kilimanjaro. I've done Ireland Seven Summits with some of you. I know in a broad range, we have a very broad range of fitness and strengths and weaknesses. But don't worry, because this is what exploration is all about. It's about pushing a little bit further, finding out more about each other, and also look. The beautiful thing about this, for anybody that's never been to the Atlas Mountains before, one is the culture. I fucking love it. I mean, Marrakesh, the hive, the activity, the culture, um, their 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 religion, how they barter and trade. I just love it, and even more so when we go to the Atlas Mountains. It's such a humble place. They are very, I wouldn't say impoverished because they're not, but they're very simple. They live a very simple life and they're extremely kind. Hassan, who a few have met before, and Mohammed, his son, and a few of the other guys are going to be working with us. You're going to love these guys. They are just fabulous, and they're really, they are people I love working with, and I've had the pleasure of working with them for the last 3 years. I'm on the expedition myself, as you know. I'm going to be leading it and guiding it, but at the same time, you're going to be taking responsibility for your own actions and your own movement, which is what I really want to encourage. So I've done enough talking for now. Um, any questions?
Are we going to be camping every night? Yeah, we're not staying any of the refuges.
We may stay on we may stay up at Tobacco Refuge for one night, Emma.
Right.
We'll see. We'll see. If I can, I'm going to try and avoid that.
Hmm.
I'm going to try to keep to the total authenticity of like that camping expedition. So
Great.
look, I'm not afraid to say too, this is an exploratory trip. I've said this from the outset, guys. I know it like the back of my hand, but it'll be interesting to see how we can move 20 people through this and how we can move it in this manner. So yeah, you'll be okay.
Jason,
Yeah, go for it.
Caroline here. Um, money? What kind of do we need? I've never been. Do we need cash? Do we need to have local cash
No,
with us?
so in Marrakesh, there's ATM bank machines. The trips are full. The trips are full. A fully inclusive package. So all your dinners, breakfast, lunches, and teas and everything are covered, except for beers, wines, and stuff like that. But we'll probably leave that to the last night when we come back. But on in the mountain itself, Caroline, there is no spend.
No.
It's only
Okay.
souvenirs and stuff. What I would say is there's no point in running to the bank here to get their currency. It's a waste of time. You're far better taking out 100 quid at an ATM machine there in the spot. A lot of them also tap Visa card if you want to buy souvenirs and stuff. So
Okay. Great. Thanks.
visas, there's no visas required on access. I do need to give you the
Mm.
name of the hotel because just of late, they've been kind of getting a little bit kind of gnarly around where are you staying, and then some of my clients didn't know where they were staying till they met Hassan, and then they couldn't actually get through the bloody airport. So I'll be giving you the name of the air. It's the Riyad Omar, Omar. So write that down. Riyad Omar in Marrakesh. That's where you're staying. Um,
About 100 yards from Main Square.
that's it. From
Fantastic location.
yeah, it's ideal. It's not a posh. It's just a simple three-star Riyadh, but fabulous location. Um, what other things would I kind of advise? I would definitely take a set of either Crocs or sliders with me. Definitely getting into the bare feet at night is probably a good thing. Being able to kind of talc your feet up, let them breathe, rather than be in socks and shoes all the time. Um, what else would I kind of advise, bar taking the kitchen sink? Well, first of all, let's not take the kitchen sink. At this stage now, you guys all should be pretty durable towards wearing the same pair of trousers for the whole bloody trip. I certainly know I just wear the same pair of jocks and I just turn them around. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm
Too
joking.
much information.
I'm joking. I'm joking. Uh, but what do you call it? A couple of pairs of socks, a couple of pairs of jocks, one pair of trousers, a couple of t-shirts, one fleece, one jacket, one ball cap. two pairs of footwear, a pair of sliders for at night time, and that's it, my sleeping bag, and toothbrush, um, and a blade maybe to shave. That's really all I'm going to bring with me. I don't need much more than that. Everything else is going to be there. If I forget anything, I can buy it in Marrakesh. If I forget anything, we can get it somewhere. Um, so that's kind of it, guys. I'm really stoked because this is something I've been really working towards. I mean, I just find going to the Alps and the Pyrenees today hugely expensive. If you went to Mont Blanc or the Matterhorn, you're talking about them charging 2,500 for a guide for one bloody day, and it's just, I think it's bonkers and no need for it. And it's just great to be able to put in, a relatively low cost trip together, but still get a 7 day expedition out of it. Huge amount of training, huge amount of learning, and also to be involved in a culture it's absolutely beautiful. So yeah,
Sorry, Jason.
yeah,
I was wondering, is there kind of an average elevation gain every day? What are we kind of looking at
1,800 to 1,500.
every day?
Yeah.
Nice one. Cool.
And how
Yeah.
many kilometers, Jason, per day ish?
Well, anybody knows me, I don't measure anything by distance. It's all by time. But you're probably looking, Emma, every day at 68 hours every day, but at a comfortable enough pace. Not like we're not going to be racing through this thing because the whole idea is to get through it. There will be opportunity for people that want to move faster to do that, as I said. But if you even took the slower person to the fastest person, you're only talking maybe about an hour of a difference in a full day, even if the person at the front was going to full gas. We're not going to be able to do that anyway because we don't have that luxury of that many guides. So we're going to be working in pods. We'll start out as one big unit and see how everybody's moving, and then we'll break it down from there. Um, and the skill for us is to work out how that's all working. But look, Emma, to answer your question bluntly, we're working off 8 to 10 hours each day.
Cool.
Um,
It was
you know,
6 to 8 a minute ago, Jason.
huh?
30 seconds ago it was 6 to 8.
I
Well,
wrote
that's
that
just
down
it.
too.
68 hours,
Yeah. Or 8 to 10, whichever.
or just around the corner, Caroline.
Another 200 meters
Yeah, just
is
around the
always it.
corner. Yeah,
Aye.
you
My
know,
line is another 200 meters.
that's it.
Jason,
Jason,
Yeah.
sorry.
no, I was just going to say walking poles. Mine are like they're older, they're Van Gogh, like cheap ones. Is it worth investing in good poles or do they all do the same kind of job?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of using everything. I'm a big fan of looking into the press to see what you have before you buy anything. I'm not a big fan of buying these expensive brands and stuff. I have a luxury of having a few given to me, but it's more
Yeah.
about use what you have. If it's working, Sarah, and there's nothing broken with them, just go with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just go with it.
Perfect.
And like, don't be running out tomorrow morning and buying deer boots. Just wear what you have. Just wear what you have. It'll be fine.
And Jason, I assume there's toilet tents there on the campsites, is there?
Yeah, we'll have toilet facilities available. I would definitely throw in a toilet roll into your big bag. Throw in a couple of rolls of toilet roll for SOS because again, new foods, spices. It is Morocco we're going to. You could have a small bit of GI, and you do need maybe a splash and dash, or a dash and splash. Let's hope it's not a splash and dash. Uh, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Are they walk-ins? I mean, I know typical from last year, the walk into base camp is heavily populated, and there's a couple of water shacks along the way and that and rest places. Are these other this route we're going from up the back? Is it off the beaten track type stuff? No more tourists, let's say, on them.
Yeah, this is a brand new. I mean, these
Brand new.
routes, these routes would have been covered, but maybe not in this way. But they're not covered by general population. It's not like
They're not
a
gonna be
like
meeting
a
people.
commercial tobacco up the highway back
Yeah.
down again. No, we're actually going about it in an orthodox manner. We will come down, you know, the way you came from the refuge
Yeah,
back down into Armagh and Armagh to Immel. We're coming down
yeah.
that way. A bit of it, not all of it. We're going to be dropping in off another valley. So we're
Wow.
literally taking on like a big horseshoe. So whenever you were coming up the valley, when you would have looked up to your right hand side, Joe, and you would have seen
Yeah,
a big horseshoe, and then when you were
yeah.
at the refuge, you would have looked up to your right hand side and seen those bigger climbs. We're going to
Aye.
be taking on the likes of those, and we're actually taking on the true. There is a Tubacol West, Tubacol East, and Tubacol Central. So we're going to be taking on all three in one swoop as well, which is pretty unique. Generally, most people never go to West or East. They generally just go
Yeah.
to Tubacol Central. So we're going to take those three in one swoop as well, which is a pretty cool, which is a pretty cool thing to do, and drop down a very different way
Very
into the
good.
valley again.
Very good.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be a pretty exciting trip, you know. So yeah,
Well, that has an appeal that you're not going to be on heavily trekked track, that you're going to be like, as far as base camp, the ordinary base camp in particular, like we were on last year,
yeah,
you're always meeting people, and this that'll be nice, Jason, to be away
yeah.
from
No, look, we're
the
always
madding crowds, as I say.
yeah, you know, part of my ethos is to try to kind of find that off the beaten path environment. It's getting harder, Joe. Like we're,
Mm.
you know, because this industry's exploded, you know, the untracked paths are getting less and less and less globally throughout the world. But look, we're trying
Rubber
to seek,
crossroad.
yeah, we're trying to seek these out, and I think this will be a nice one, you know. And when we're currently at the minute in, we have a fact finding going on in Norway at the minute. We have a fact finding going on in Poland at the minute.
Jesus, my son
So,
is there at the minute, Jason,
so hopefully
in
we're going
Norway.
Hopefully, we're going to have Norway next year and Poland as well.
Good.
Something really unique and something really different and a very kind of unorthodox way of doing it as well. So these kind of expedition style, we're going to have our gear in there and we're going to be based in Norway and we're going to be based in Poland. And again, it's just because what we're seeing, Joe, is we're seeing flights to Nepal and seeing flights to South America just gone through the fucking roof. I mean, it's crazy. The cost of expedition life is just getting expensive. And I don't honestly believe it needs to be that expensive. And I just think we need to look at alternatives. And what we probably need is we need people to kind of maybe not be continuously looking for the
Looking
same
for this.
commercial people want the Kilimanjaros, they want they want these kind of like branded expeditions. And I think we can offer something even more unique.
Yes, far better.
I
You'll
think
have me bleeding broke with all these new expeditions, Jason.
well,
Just
here,
bleeding, bro.
you could be spending it. You could be spending it worse. All you're doing is investing it in yourself, Emma.
Absolutely. No complaints here.
So, how's the 70-year-old getting on? Mal, how are you going at the minute?
Oh, I'm going great. Yeah. I'm over in Wales, so I'm running up and down the Brecon beacons, and yeah, staying fit.
Good man. And look, I'm excited to to share some time with you on the Sunday on Erigal as well. So,
Yeah,
um,
thank you, and thank you
brilliant.
everyone else who's hoping to supporting it or hoping maybe even to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant, Mal. And look, yeah, your energy's unbelievable, man. So, if anybody has any questions that they haven't thought about during this, just shoot it into the group. Don't send me a PM because fuck me, guys. It's generally the same question everybody else is thinking about. And it doesn't matter how ridiculous the question is, just shoot it into the group. We're all friends. We're all here to grow. We're all here to learn, including myself. Say, look, Jason, what about that? And we all benefit from the answer. There is no stupid
We're
question.
not allowed to slag any question that's asked in the group.
Slagging is mandatory, by the way.
Come on.
Slagging is mandatory on this
This is
trip.
going to be a great trip.
Yeah, it'll be brilliant fun. Anybody else? Any questions before we sign out?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Levy. I was wondering about scorpions and viper snakes. Like if we're going on a track that most people don't be going on, um, we're at a higher chance of meeting these boys, aren't we?
Yeah, look, but we don't envisage. I mean, look at our guys are highly trained. Look, everything is there. all the time, everywhere we go. Our
Okay.
job is to make sure that things don't happen. But look, we're not envisaging scorpions attacking us.
No.
But look, we have to accept the fact that yeah, the reality is that these things do exist in the outdoors. And we just hope that we don't have to deal with it.